I've seen your type. You're currently a cocktail server, which consists of, hey, I'll have a Jack and Coke. Okay. And then you walk away, tell someone else Jack and Coke. They hand you a Jack and Coke. You come back and bring it back to me and hope that I would give you a good tip. That's your skill set.
And what about it?
It's a hard work.
And what about it?
It's a hard work.
And what about it?
Yeah, there is no skill set is the point, which is to say if I took your brain and placed your brain into a man's body, you would be in poverty.
She's not a man, though. Yeah. She's a very beautiful. She's an attractive woman. Sexy woman. And that is a skill. I bet you can't do what she's doing. Yeah, you don't have the skills for it. You don't have skill for it. Ain't nobody trying to see no bald-head Negro.
What?
Oh, yeah, Diddy got a podcast.
So I am 100% convinced that I just listened to and witnessed two people make the dumbest argument that I've heard all year. And I'm still baffled that I just heard what I just heard. Conservative twins. If you don't know who they are, they're exactly what they sound like. Two biological twins who are extremely popular on YouTube. And they have a lot of the, main talking points of that from the conservative side, such as what's wrong with Democrats, what's wrong with liberals, what's wrong with the black community, the war on men, red pill talking points. They typically talk about things like that. Well, they just recently had an episode where they reacted to this black guy who was on this podcast, pretty much exposing the truth behind OnlyFans models and a lot of women, not all women, but a lot of women who choose to go into these certain professions and what that is really about and what that really speaks to.
If you weren't doing OnlyFans, how would you earn a six-figure plus income?
I do
Wait, speak English, go ahead.
What did she say?
I work at one of the I work at one of the best clubs in Las Vegas.
You seem like you're having trouble with English for a second.
Condescending
What
nigga.
skills do you have that would help you earn a six-figure plus income at age 28?
You're right, nothing. There's no skills that I have.
Because
right.
you're a cocktail server in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Right?
And there's nothing else that I have to offer.
And she's trying to play it off right now, and that's a strategy. Very nice.
What's the strategy? Tell us. Please,
but the fact is, I live in Las Vegas. I've seen your type. You're currently a cocktail server, which consists of, hey, I'll have a Jack and Coke. Okay. And then you walk away, tell someone else Jack and Coke. They hand you a Jack and Coke. You come back and bring it back to me and hope that I would give you a good tip. That's your skill set.
And what about it?
It's a hard work.
And what about it?
It's a hard work.
And what about it?
Yeah, there is no skill set is the point, which is to say if I took your brain and placed your brain into a man's body, you would be in poverty.
Every single thing that man just said was true. This is one of those moments, it's like when you listen to somebody say something and they're just on a roll and they're just hitting all cylinders. It's like you would assume everybody in the room would agree with that. It's like, yeah. What do? You're an OnlyFans model, you're a cocktail server, and you're simply using your looks, serving somebody a drink, like literally going to get a drink, coming back and handing it to them, and hoping that they tip you, really based on your looks, because you're not doing anything else but dressing half naked in hopes that people are wanting to pursue you, so they're going to tip you, hoping that they can get something out of it. What skill does that take? That takes no skill. I would think that everybody would agree with this. Listen to what the conservative twin said. This blew my mind.
She's not a man, though. Yeah. She's a very beautiful. She's an attractive woman. Sexy woman. And that is a skill. Yeah, it's not a skill. It's a skill, but it's a talent. Something you're born with. Yeah.
What?
Psychologist. So, yeah, I probably struggle with psychology.
What? The fact that it's two people sitting here on this podcast, I don't care if they're related. Normally when one person says something that makes no sense, the other person is there to say, okay, that was crazy. You just heard this man say that her looks he said, no, it's not a skill, it's a talent. What are you talking about? No, it's not. You looking pretty is just your way of being, right? And even I'll go a step further. A lot of cases you're wearing a ton of makeup, right? You're wearing fake hair, fake eyelashes, fake nails. What are we talking about here, right? Outside of the artificial things that you added to your body, you're literally just being yourself. And you're going to call that a skill? And before we get to the video, let me just say thank you so much for being here. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. I would really, really appreciate it. It really helps the video out and it helps the channel grow. Thank you.
I mean, you could come out here in Vegas. I live in Vegas. You could come out here in Vegas and be an Uber driver and make six figures. Yeah. I mean, I get it. I mean, I'd be hating too if I was a dude and I'm looking at all these chicks. I got a college degree. Yeah. I'm a doctor over here. And this girl, all she got to do is do a couple videos. bouncing in the video, bouncing her jugs on her chest. And she's making what I make in a year in a month. Like what those women are doing on OnlyFans is the world's oldest profession.
No, it's not. What the women are doing on OnlyFans is the world's. This is what baffles me about them. They claim to be conservative and they claim to believe in God, but it's talking points like this that blow my mind and prove to me that these people don't actually believe in God, and that they're probably being paid by OnlyFans to say this. First of all, the oldest profession I would say is probably hunting. It's not women using, like, what are you talking about here, bro? What?
Why is that? There's a demand for it from men.
Yeah. Look,
You ain't never had you a good thought?
okay, look, man. I believe in freedom. I believe in the Constitution. I believe in freedom of speech. And that is covered under freedom of speech.
What the women do?
Yeah. Pornography, all that. OnlyFans?
I get that. But you have a different moral compass. I get that.
Yeah.
But everybody can't be perfect like you, brother. Come on, man. You perfect.
Hey,
everybody can't be perfect like you.
Yeah, but he's trying to say that that's not a skill. I bet you can't do what she's doing.
Yeah, you don't have the skills for it.
You don't have skill for it.
Ain't nobody trying to see no bald-headed Negro serving drinks.
Yeah.
OnlyFans.
And high heels. You don't got the skills, brother.
Yeah, you ain't got
Ain't
the
nobody
talent.
trying to look at all that.
Ain't nobody trying to look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the gay people will, but
Yeah.
ain't nobody
Well,
trying to look at all that.
Bro, I'm losing brain cells listening to these dudes. See, I don't even know where to begin there. First of all, you said that everybody can't be perfect like him. It's not about being perfect. It's about calling out the hypocrisy and calling something for what it is. But just real quick, just real fast, you said he don't have a skill. It's a skill because he can't do what she does. First of all, he can't do what she does because he's a man. The world for men and the world for women are just not the same. There's advantages and disadvantages for both in this world. That's just how it is. But just because she's deemed as pretty by most people and she can financially benefit from that don't make it a skill just because a man won't be able to financially benefit in the same way. There's no way two grown men in their 40s, late 40s, 50s have brains that think this way. What are you talking about here, bro? Well, that's so funny because you said, don't nobody want to see a bald-headed Negro. Well, can't nobody be perfect like him. You tell me, explain to me why you claim to be conservatives, but really what you are is anti-black. And I don't feel that way about all conservatives. But it's funny to me that you talk like that, conservative twins, because every video that you talk about black people, you're bashing them based on the fact that they're black and this is just how black Americans behave. They're ratchet, they're ghetto, they have no home training, they're lost. All of the typical talking points that people say about black America, which is true in some cases, which is true in many cases in some areas. But you don't clarify that when you're talking about black people. Right? But whenever you're talking about white people and the crazy stuff that white people do or any other demographic outside of the black community, you never make it about race. You make it about them being leftist, as you like to say. You make it political, right? It's because they're Democrats.
Bring them girls up. Bring them girls up. She overdid her lips a little bit. She's like, that's a pretty girl right there.
Yeah.
Like if she's like, comes to my table and she's a good waitress, she does her job, man, here you go, girl.
What was his argument? I take your brain and put it in a man?
Yeah, you're in poverty. That's right at the very end.
Yeah, play it again. I want to hear his argument again.
Right there.
Come back and bring it back to me and hope that I would give you a good tip. That's your skill set.
And what about it?
It's a hard work.
And what about it?
It's a hard work.
And what about it?
Yeah, there is no skill set is the point, which is to say if I took
what
your
about
brain,
it?
if I took your brain and placed your brain into a man's body, you would be in poverty.
See, that's a hypothetical that you can't replicate or even try to do. You'll go to jail for that shit.
What? That's the whole point. It's presented as a hypothetical to say if the brain that particular woman has, not all women, that particular woman, the way in which her brain works, the skill set in which she possessed or lack thereof, if you took that same person, her brain, the way she sees life and goes through life, if you put that into a man's body, that person would be in poverty because they wouldn't be able to rely. They're making the point that you just made. He can't do what she do, not because he's not as pretty, so to speak. It's because he's a man. Right? Take one of the most attractive men in the world. He wouldn't be able to pull tips the way that the average looking woman can. That's facts. What are we talking about here, bro? This is once again one of those talking. It's like Today must have been a slow news day, because for you all to get on here and make these silly, I would think this is something Hodge twins would be like, yeah, that dude went off. He made nothing but that's common sense. You're defending the OnlyFans model? You're defending what she's doing? What are we talking about here? Man, hop in the comment section and give me your thoughts on this craziness. This is why I'm not conservative, not liberal, any of that, because a lot of these people are paid opposition, right? They're controlled opposition. You claim to be conservative, which means that you believe in traditional values, but then you come on here and talk like this. How that work?
Oh yeah, Diddy got a podcast.